this is a mistake that happened before the mock test. So we were reverse parking in this car park. I asked you to reverse into the space just before this silver color car here. You went forward, and then I think you wanted to readjust the car by going forward and coming back. But on the way back, you didn't check your blind spots. You barely checked anything, to be honest. Now this would result in you failing the test if you had done that on the test. Okay, this is a major fault. Anytime you reverse back, you must check your blind spots. Okay, so I've stopped you here. I told you, anytime you reverse back, you must check your blind spots. Even if it's just an inch, you reverse back 1 inch, you must check your blind spots. It's dangerous to go back without checking your blind spots. Okay, now this is a roundabout we use every lesson to get to Wanstead. We take the second exit to your left. Okay. Now every lesson, when you take the second exit, you're too wide. Okay, so here your position should stay more close to this curb, but you end up going too wide, in kind of obstructing the person who's in the middle lane, this white van. See here, you're too wide. Every lesson you're too wide here, okay? And you have to come back to your left lane after going wide. So here you must keep more to the left, follow the curb. Okay, now there was something that happened in the lesson and you asked me what that driver should have done, or if they're doing something wrong. It's this silver color van here. The light is green and it's just changing back to red. Okay, so look at the position of that van. Okay, he's practically crossed that line already. Okay, so in my opinion, he shouldn't wait there. He should carry on, because there he'd be obstructing, and you see in a moment what he obstructs. So anybody who's crossed the line, like this car and the silver van, when the light's red, they should go. Okay, they shouldn't wait after this line. Anybody behind the line should wait. And when you go, you should go quickly before it lets this car go from this side and the car coming from the other side. Okay, so let's count how many seconds it takes before it changes the light to let this car out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, you got a lot of time. This car could have gone a long time ago. Okay. So about you have more than 5 seconds at most lights, and now it's just let this car go now. So this silver car could have gone and turned right. He had a free turn to turn right when the light goes to red. He can turn right when the light goes to red because he's already crossed the line. And now, because he stayed there, look what's happened now. He's blocked the bus and he's had to move out of the way. So in my opinion, this silver colored van driver would fail the test for doing this, for waiting there and not going. He's kind of waiting in a place he shouldn't be waiting. Here, you made a serious fault, something you'd fail for going too close to the parked cars on your left. As we're approaching the end of the road, I don't know if you're trying to keep your car within this line, within the space from the line to the parked cars. That's too small. There's not enough space for you to keep within there. You're gonna have to be over the line. You're gonna have to be in the middle of the road in this occasion, because there's parked cars on both sides. There's only one space for one car to go down this road. You should be driving it down the middle of the road, in the middle of this line, with your car half on this side and half on that side. So it's the car that's just before the silver color car. It's a green color car. You go way too close to it. Okay? You're trying to keep your car within this line on this side. It's not enough space. That would result in you failing the test. Okay, you're way too close. Drive in the center of the road after the last vehicle, which is a silver one, then come back to your lane. Okay, you would fail the test for this. Now here we were doing the parallel parking. Now the first mistake you made is when you're going opposite the car. When you're pulling up opposite the car, you're too far away from the car. Okay, if you're too far away from the car, for example here, if that's the parked vehicle, this one is the parked vehicle, and you pull up here, you're too far away. If another car approaches, it won't be able to fit into this space to drive past you. Whereas if you had been here, an arm's width away, then the car that's coming from ahead of you can easily drive past. Also, it's more difficult to park when you're further away. Now the next thing you're doing wrong on the parking, when you're bringing the car back in, the front of the car back in towards the curb, you're coming and not stopping at the correct place. So here, you should stop here. See, the white color car looks straight. Now what you do is you just keep going, and then your front tire is likely to hit the curb. And I had to stop you there. you can see you're not straight with the white car anymore. So for example, I'll give you an example here. When you're in this position here, and you're letting the car come back in like here, okay, and then when the car's here, you should stop, but if you keep going, your car's going to go like that. Okay, so you need to stop in this position here, and you know when to stop there if you look at the car in front. But if you don't look at the car in front, you'll end up in this position here. Okay, now the next thing you're doing wrong, when you move off from behind a parked car when you're driving off, this is called an angled start. On the driving test, you're likely to do this at least once. You're moving off at an angle around this car. When you go around the car, you take up too much space, and you spend a lot of time in the other lane when you could bring it back to your lane more quicker. Okay, so this is, I'm showing an example here. Camera might not pick up perfectly, but you can see you've gone really wide. It's time to start straightening up and getting back into your lane. But can you see you're spending a long time in the other lane. An example of that is here. So you're here, you're going to drive around this car, you're going like that, and then you're going further like that, and then taking a long time to come back to your lane. Okay, when what you should be doing is when you get into this position here, you should be straightening up straight away and then getting back to your lane. Okay, so you're taking up less space and you're getting back to your lane more quicker. Okay, it's just a slight difference, but it makes a huge impact. And you'll see the impact it makes on your mock test in a moment. Okay, now this is another example of how you're taking up too much space when you're moving off to drive off from behind a car. So you're around the car, now you should turn back to your left now. Can you see how long it's taking you to get back to your lane? You're taking up a lot more room than necessary, and it's taking a lot longer than necessary, which can be dangerous if you have a car coming the other way, which you'll see in a moment on your mock test. Now here I've asked you to go and pull up behind this white color car, close enough to the white car so you can just about see the tires and tarmac. Okay. Now what you've done is you've pulled up to the curb, really close to the curb, really far away from the white car. That means you're going to have to go a long distance along the curb, rubbing up all the rubbish on the left up your tires and possibly scratching the tire on the curb. You've stopped here. Now you're going to go along the curb here for a long period, risking cutting the tire on the curb, rubbish along here, busting your tire with maybe a sharp object along here. You should keep just maybe a meter away from the curb here. Keep your car here. That's my two fingers of the tires, and then when you get closer, and then tuck into to the left. Okay, now this is an example that I gave you of how to move off from around the car. The reason you got to keep it as close to the white car as possible and back to your lane as quick as possible is for occasions like this where you've got a bend. The car could be coming around the corner. If you use this lane for too long and you spend a lot of time there, there's a chance someone can come and hit you. So this is an example of how you should steer around the car. As soon as you clear the car, now steer back to your lane now. Okay, imagine like you spend a long time, that black car, you'd crash into it. Okay, now here we stopped and we're moving off from behind this white color car. You checked your blind spots and everything. It was all okay to move off, and then you pressed the gas pedal and the car didn't go. Okay, and then you realized, oh, you didn't put it into drive, you're still in park. Then you put it into drive and then you just moved off without checking your blind spot again. Now, if there's any delay in moving off, you must check your blind spot again. Not checking it is the equivalent of not checking anything when you move off. Okay, so if there's any delay, for example, not checking your, not having it in drive or something delayed you, you must check your blind spot again. It must be the last thing you do. So here, you've checked it. Now you realize you're not in gear. You put into gear, and then you try to move off, and I've stopped you. Okay, because it's basically you haven't checked anything. And this is the next time we're moving off from behind a car again. Last time I guided you through it and we did it good. This time again you took too much space and you took too long in the other lane. So you're going around this car, you're going very wide. Now you should steer back. Now back. That's what I'm saying, back to your lane. You're not steering back quick enough, okay? So you need to steer back to your left quick enough. Another thing I've noticed you're doing wrong is when you're steering, you're very lazy with the steering. You're not steering enough. You're thinking, oh, eventually the car will get back to the left. No, you need to steer more, get it back quicker, okay? You failed on the mock test for that reason. The car didn't come back quick enough, you'll see in a moment. Another thing you're doing is you're letting the wheel run back by itself whenever it can. This is wrong, don't do that. If the wheel doesn't run back quick enough, your car's going to be too slow. Your car's going to be turning too slow. Steer it back yourself. Okay, steer in to the right yourself. Steer back to the left yourself. Don't let the wheel run back by itself. Okay, now we've started the mock test, and this is where you've made your first serious fault. We're approaching this traffic light. It's red. You've stopped behind the cycle line. Perfect. This is where you made a mistake last mock test, so it's perfect. You're gonna have to bear with me. I'm gonna load the next video. Okay, it's gone to green, and you just stayed there. You're not moved. Okay, I'm gonna load the next video, and you're still there. You're not moving. Then I had to prompt you, move forward, please, because it's a green light, and there's cars behind you waiting. Now, what I reckon is the reason you didn't move forward is because you saw the yellow box and you thought you can't go into the yellow box. Okay, now, when you're turning right, your exit to the right there is clear. There's no traffic here. So you can go and wait in this box if you're turning right and your exit is clear. Okay, so look up this rule about the yellow box, and don't make this mistake again, because here you failed the test for it. Okay, now here you made a minor fault. The car in front is braking just now. Is braking. You're not slowing down. You haven't broke. When you see brake lights, you need to start braking as well. And then the reason it broke is because the silver color car braked to a stop. You approached it very fast. Okay, now here you've made a serious fault. Going around this car, you've taken up too much room and you've not got back to your lane quick enough. And you've got this black color car coming towards us really quickly. That's where I had to prompt you, get back to your lane, get back to your lane. Examiner will do the same, okay? And this is where you'd fail on the steering. Okay, so what we practiced before, going around a parked car, okay, you've not put into practice on here on your mock test, and you've got a serious fault for this. Okay, this is something that you need to work on. Now here, the car behind beeped at you, so you'll see the traffic light is green. These cars all got through, even a van, the black van got through this gap. It's a green light and you decided not to go. And that's why the cars beeped at you, because the other two cars made it, even a van made it through that space and you didn't go. Okay, now as we've approached this traffic light, I've noticed there's a white color van over there just parked up. Okay, so what you should do here is notice the van and then prepare to move into the right hand lane. Give a signal and look for a gap. Look for somebody who's giving you a sign. With them, they might give you a sign by slowing down, by flashing their light, by waving at you, nodding at you, that they're going to let you move into the space in front of them. So you move on. Now start checking to see a gap. Usually if one driver doesn't let you go, another one eventually will. So look for a gap. You don't want to go and stop behind this van, otherwise you probably never make it out into the other lane. So here I prompted you that. And then moments later, we're coming towards a bus that's picking up passengers. And this one, you kind of, I didn't say anything, you did this yourself. You checked the mirror, you gave a signal, waited for a suitable gap, and you moved into the other lane. But then immediately after that, you see there's cars in front of us with their hazard lights on, and you've just gone and stood behind them, not checked your mirror, not given a signal, just stayed there for this long. The camera's rolling. And then now you've noticed that they're not moving and you've moved over. Okay, so hazard light, the car stopped, it's parked up. Okay, so you should have planned to move around it a lot earlier. Okay, now here I've told you you're going to turn left at the traffic lights, and just now you've tried to go into the left lane, into the bus lane, and I had to physically stop you by taking the wheel and stop you from steering into the bus lane. Okay, so remember, this thick line is a bus lane, you cannot go into it. Okay, now we approach this left turn, and every now and then you get a turn that's so tight that you can't go in when a car is waiting to come out. I had to tell you to stop here, otherwise I think you would have carried on and try to take that turn. Okay, so you would not fit into that road, especially with that black pillar there, when the car's waiting to come out of that road. It's just too small. Okay, so if a road is really small, you need to just stop and let the car to come out first. Okay, so I had to tell you this. If I didn't tell you, I don't think it would have gone right.